Hi there, this is CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm across the Red River from beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. And come check us out. Now, I'm going to talk about a movie, Shazam Fury of the Gods, that I saw on the 17th of March. I wanted to see it on the 16th at an early showing, but the weather was bad, so I had to wait till the 17th. And then, of course, I wanted to wait a few days after that movie opening weekend so that most people who would rush to the theater to see it uh, were I didn't want to spoil it for them. So just there will be some spoilers here. I've only got a few followers, so I'm not too worried about talking about things. I won't spoil it. I won't spoil things for 8 people. Uh, and yeah, so spoiler. And so by all means, skip it if you want to. And I'm just going to let this run in the back on silence. Okay, most of the movie involves Zach Levi, the adult superhero character, and mostly dealing with his family and trying to hold them together. It's like there's a subtext, not so much of a subtext, but the theme of, hey, this is my family and families united, this and that, and everything like that. But there's also a time when you've got to trust your family. So this is about when the family unit grows up and people mature and they will kind of are going to do their own thing, but also the fact that family is family. You don't age out of a family. He's aging out of the foster system. And so we don't see too much of the Billy Batson character as a 17-year-old teen about to age out of the character. Uh, we also don't get in the first movie, it was like, I loved it, but there was at one point it was like Shazam, 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 and he would do that like 5 or 6 times in quick succession uh, as part of fighting the bad guy. Uh, and yeah, it's like, okay, we get it, dude. You change, but so what a cool thing. If I know that one of my favorite things about being a kid watching superhero movies was the point where they would change the costume. Superman, uh, going into a revolving door and it's spinning real fast and they come out as Superman or something, or Wonder Woman's Wonder Spin, in the comic books, when she would step through the lasso. Uh, as part of her being Diana, and she stepped on the other side of it, and she's Wonder Woman. That thrilled me. Uh, the spoiler of Wonder Woman being having a little cameo in this movie, you know, it's not a big spoiler to me. It didn't spoil it any more than me hearing about Henry Cavill being in Black Adam at the end of Black Adam. That didn't spoil it. That's fine. It's not a big point. Uh, in the capacity that she's used, oh my God, it's kind of cool. And to tell you about that would be to spoil the end of the film. Uh, because she doesn't, it's not like a Batman versus Superman where she comes on and where she's not threaded throughout the movie. She's mentioned every once in a while, because he's got a crush on her, this character here. But yeah, we get to see more of this guy, the wizard, throughout the movie. I really enjoyed that, getting to see the character that the wizard was. One of the things that they did was, for the most part, they retconned the name of the character. Uh, he doesn't know, he's not Shazam uh, throughout this movie. And at the very end of the movie, he asks the wizard, "Hey, what's my name?" And the wizard says, "Your name is Shazam." But for the most part, they're trying to figure out his name. That his main sidekick. Uh, hey, I'm Captain Every Powers, and you're Captain Every Powers Junior, and all this kind of stuff. There's a lot of jokes about what are they going to call themselves, because the news is calling them like some sort of like fiasco or something like that, San Francisco or Philadelphia fiasco, whatever it is they're calling them or whatever. So that's not really what we do. We're heroes, or whatever, Uh, failing to save something, like there's a bridge that they don't save, and it's like, hey, failing to save a bridge. or something. I guess this is one of the spoilers. You maybe don't want to listen. Failing to save a bridge is not the same as destroying it, and that's true. So yeah. Anyway, at this point, they did a song, and it would have been great. I kept thinking this song is good for what's going on here if they would let the song play over it and the action take place. But we kept hearing the song as a background, and I kept thinking we need to hear this song. We need to hear this song be kind of like the thematic over the action, and then all of a sudden it transcends from being background music to being the main sound that you hear. And it's like, okay, that makes kind of that it took them a minute to get there. Do you know what I mean? Like, but even at one point, like, the hero's like, whoa, no kidding, I'm saving you while this song's playing. Okay, so the tone of this movie is it's a lot like the tone of the first movie, uh, which is a lighter version. Uh, do you remember that the first Shazam was produced during the time when Warner Brothers had decided they were going to, make lighter movies? They were going to make less expensive movies. Uh, and so the Shazam got a smaller budget than the Batman versus Superman. Uh, all right, so and this one looks like maybe it got a more of a budget, uh, but not much more of a budget. At first, I couldn't figure why is this dude's lightning bolt not glowing. Do you remember the first movie? The lightning bolt was entirely lit up, entirely, and this is a see here it is. Sometimes it's lit and sometimes it's not. And what they're doing here is these goddesses, which are the villains, so to speak. Uh, they come to reclaim what they feel was stolen from them, the power of the gods or something, and so which legitimately Helen Mirren makes a point, like if someone broke into your home and stole all of your stuff, and then your next door neighbor uh, had somehow come in possession of the stuff, but then wouldn't give your stuff back, you would feel like that your next door neighbor was purposely withholding your stolen items, and that's how they felt about I don't know their power of the gods. I don't know. That's it's kind of, but it wasn't. We're talking about that, but it wasn't actually Helen Mirren's power that was stolen, or uh, uh, Lucy Lou's power that was stolen, or anything like that. So, yeah. Anyway, there's some fun twists in this. You're gonna like the movie. It's a good family film. It's not the dark heavy, and it's not even the biggest budget. Um, if you enjoyed the first Shazam movie, I did. I thought it was a little bit witty. Then you're going to enjoy it. I will say that the actor who played the his best brother friend, the handicapped brother, uh, I didn't quite enjoy his particular performance as much as I did. I don't think he was as good uh, in this as he was. I've heard that like some reviewers have said he did a great job and he's good, this guy. But it's like I don't know. There were some scenes where maybe could have they maybe could have given him more time to delve in some emotion. But he was basically his voice was basically, hey, family's family. You got to let family be family and stuff like that. And just, we have our things to do. It doesn't always have to be all or nothing. And the Billy Batson Shazam hero, he's all about, no, we are all together or we're none of us. And as a control to keep his family unit together. And that's the subtext of this. This is a family film. It is about family. It's about growing and changing family, and it's even about how family, when sometimes individual family members have a right to their individual family lives. This guy this is changed over videos from this show. No, they're talking about it. They're talking about it. Uh, I don't know how many videos I've talked through. I will tell you that you get a cameo from the 1970s Shazam TV show. I think it was that guy that we just saw, the one that played Billy Batson, who was supposed to be, he was older, but he was supposed to be about 12 years old. But he was really played by someone much older, uh, and he rode around in an RV with a guy he only knew as mentor. He only called him mentor, and then he would, of course, his Billy Batson would talk to the elders, which were uh, the the version of the wizards, the council of wizards. He would call them the elders, or whatever. So that was kind of cool. Go back and watch this 1970s show. It was Shazam. It was the Shazam ISIS hour, and there was a hero, a heroine, Isis, and she would channel the goddess Isis through her body. In the same way that Thor originally was not, he didn't come down as a god. He actually came down and possessed or inhabited the living body, which transformed into the god of Thor in the Marvel on the Marvel comic side of things. We're talking about Marvel, Captain Marvel, and now we're talking about Marvel. But at one point, and I guess I can go ahead and tell you, spoiler alert, if you're a super geek, you want to really skip this part. The cameo from the 1970s Shazam actually calls this hero Captain Marvel, which was his name in the 1970s, Captain Marvel. And of course, if you're a super stupid geek like I am, you realize that there's some speculation that DC Comics in the comic books is going to take the Shazam and some of the animated specials. They're going to take Shazam back to some of his roots, and then maybe kind of reclaim the moniker of Captain Marvel, which was a character first created by Fawcett Comics shortly after the rise of Superman. And I say the rise of Superman, not the one where he was a bad guy, but the 1930s comic of Clark Kent / Superman. Shortly after that became popular, and we started seeing more heroes. Then we got the idea to really, let's take the hero. Let's take the boy and let the boy be the hero. Let's let the sidekick be the hero. And so you get 12-year-old Billy Batson, who is given the power of the gods and becomes Captain Marvel. Uh, you know, uh, and it's totally awesome. The boy gets to not just look at the hero and worship the hero. The boy gets to be the hero, and that is something that was in the first Shazam that kind of got lost in the second. But that's because these kids are they're almost grown now. They're almost adults now. He's 17 years old. He's about to age out of the foster system in about 5 months. You know what I mean? So, the Billy Batson character. So, what will these, let's put it like this. He's almost old enough to play an adult. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know that this particular version of Shazam is going to continue over. It's simply because by the next time they get around to doing another movie, the actors who were playing the children are going to be adults, and they're going to be, and they don't look anything like. As a matter of fact, the female, not Darla, but the other one, the other sister, the older sister, the one that's like, she should have went away to college, but she decided to stay at home and be the hero, but wants to go to college. Um, like I guess she gave up on her. It was a great college opportunity in that first movie. I don't know. So anyway, but she decided to stay and do the hero thing and not go off to college or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, I don't think that was necessarily the best message to play for children. skip a chance at a top notch college education. All your hard work at overcoming the adversity within the foster care system, which, from what I understand, is not very easy to do, from what everyone's told me, and then to you know give that up even for uh, costume heroism. It's like you got to find some sort of way to make it work. Uh, but anyway, without giving up the education. So anyway, that's something that they maybe kind of hinted at, but couldn't get into too much. I mean, they didn't make a big issue out of it, but it's like, yeah, you know, especially young ladies, you should never have to give up your dreams because of what a boy wants you to do. And by the way, boys, never give up your dreams because of what a lady wants you to do, or peer pressure or anything like that. Find your individual self and go with it. That's the message I really would have liked to have seen more, and less of, hey, let's sacrifice slivers of our lives, basically just to make the main character feel a little bit more secure about himself. It was, uh, and of course they tease a little bit about his goofiness, Billy Batson, and his actual intellect. Uh, the Zachary Levi adult version of Shazam is still acting like maybe a teenager. And he's not necessarily acting the way a 17-year-old young man would act, who, by the way, at that point is getting a little bit more. I mean, they still have fun, still party, but getting a little bit more serious about things. And not so, not, you're getting over the teenage awkwardness of being a pubescent person. You're getting over that uh, awkwardness of it. You're still not making necessarily the best decisions of your life and everything like that, but at some point you start caring a little bit more about, uh, stuff, uh, and so so while Zachary Levi's acting like a goofy 14, 15-year-old, his childhood counterpart actually acts more mature than he does. And that actually kind of happened in the first movie, too. The actor playing Billy Batson acted more mature than Zachary Levi. But anyway, but that's, it kind of works. It's a good movie. It's not a perfect movie, but I'm going to tell you, the family sitting behind me in the theater when I went to see it, they were laughing in the right places and having a good time. And I was kind of like judging how this movie should be accepted by the audience that I was around. And it's like, at one point, for me, it's like, oh my God, I paid to see this movie, so people shut the hell up. But also on the flip side of it, it was good to hear people come to a movie and have a good time and enjoy themselves and laugh and make their little comments. And the little kids, when it's time for them to turn into a Shazam, right before they're like Shazam, like they're waiting for it. You know what I mean? These are like, yeah, it's a, you know what can I say? It was a little, so there was some unsocialized tacky, trashy type children that were talking in the theater, but it was in good fun. You know what I mean? So I didn't mind it so much this time. It wasn't that big of an irritant. They weren't intentionally trying to be irritating. They were trying to have a good time, and they were enjoying and they were participating and talking back to the movie screen in just all the right places. And that's how I know, given a fair shot, this movie would be uh, great as a family film, uh, top notch, right? And then it's not going to win any awards. But if, say, uh, if there were a children and family awards category, then that specifically, then this movie could win it. Like if you, it's not necessarily fair to take a heavy drama and put it in the same category with a family action film, like an adult action film, where you have, you know, uh, Die Hard with Bruce Willis, yippee ki motherfucker. You can't take that type of action and storyline and Batman versus Superman. You have like a graphic death of a character and it lingers on uh, and doesn't get resolved until 2 or 3 movies later within the franchise. Hey, uh, let's do Justice League after, you know what I mean, and bring them back. It's like because what happened? We got like um, Batman versus Superman, and then Superman dies, and then after that, we got the very next one was the first uh, Suicide Squad, uh, and then we got a Wonder Woman, and then we got Justice League. So it was like, yeah, because we didn't get Aquaman until after Justice League. So yeah, we got it was like 3 movies later, like 1, 2, and it was like the third movie after the death of Superman. Uh, was there? Yeah. So uh, that was a very crucial, deep death to deal with. So uh, the tragedy in this movie, I mean, they're glazed over, and they're not. They're. It's almost a mellow drama, where your bad guys are heightened bad guys, and your uh, um, good guys are super good guys, and there's not really much wiggle room in that. And there's no ambiguity with that. But your more mature movies that are made for a more mature audience, there's less melodrama, and the lines get a little bit blurred. That's why you have, I don't know. I will say, um, the Batman versus Superman, and let's bond because of our mother having the first name of Martha. That was um, dumb, and the trying to reason with someone while you're trying to kick the shit out of them is also really dumb. Like if you're Superman and you want to reason with Batman, what you do is you pick him up and you fly him way in the air, and uh, so high up that if he falls, he's gonna die. And then you say, "You look, you're gonna listen to me, dude. Yeah, take this metal piece of crap off, and you listen to what I have to say. We gotta go stop Lex. Whatever." But anyway, these movies are about fun. They're not necessarily trying to be the big, epic, Oscar award-winning movies. They're not this. These are not your. Uh, it gets. They if they win any awards, it's technical. It's for technical achievement. It's not for best movie. It's not for best storytelling. Although they could be, but you're gonna have to really, really. I don't know. There's a lot of other poignant movies about life. Those are the movies that are going to win your best actor, your best, So, yeah, just take these movies and enjoy them for fun, including this movie, uh, Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Thank you. I'm CJ Miller. Love and light. Peace. Good night.